Hi again. The last time I posted my last video, it was around 2 months back. And honestly, the past 2 months have been very happening. As you all know, I'm in my final year and fifth year mein, unfortunately or fortunately, architecture mein there's a lot to do. We have thesis, assignments, and one of the most important thing that engaged me in the past 2 months was my interviews. So, a little about myself, a little bit background. I gave CAT 2023 this year, and fortunately, I got the opportunity to sit for some of the IM calls, and those actually happened between these past 2 months. I mean, from January to March. It extends till April. I mean, it's still going on. I have one scheduled in few days. And so yeah, this was the reason I could not post for a long while. I mean, I have a lot of stories, lot of things that have happened, lot of stories to tell about me, lot of experiences to tell. But I think I'll be doing that now after this video. And one of these interviews was the reason that this video is happening. Um, Honestly, I'm a small town girl, to be honest. मेरा 10th वाशिम में हुआ है. Most of you all won't know. It's in Maharashtra. It's near Akola. And recently I shifted to Wardha, which is near Nagpur, but it's still not a very big city. And honestly, at least भले वो interviews के बहाने क्यों ना हो, it was a great experience to go to Delhi. As I told, because I was from Wardha, पता नहीं, बस childhood से we never traveled as a family much. I remember going to Darjeeling, but वो उतनी छोटी थी कि I don't even remember my experience. One more thing, रुड़की वाले लोग mostly they'll say कि क्या मतलब रुड़की में रह के like 5 years in Roorkee, you couldn't even go to Delhi. It's so near. It's like 4 to 5 hours from here. It's not that far, but thanks to our luck, we are COVID kids. I spent entirety of some 2 to 3 years at home, and due to that, when I came back to college, it was like हम first year अपना third year में experience कर रहे हैं, and the known faces were not in campus, and all these things were happening, and due to some reason or the other, I just couldn't go to Delhi. I always wanted to go to Delhi, see India Gate, see Lotus Temple, all these places. And yeah, this happened now. I guess I didn't go to Delhi till now for a reason, and koi kitna bhi bole, I was excited. That matters to me. And yeah, this video is about that experience, and I would stop blabbering much and head to the main part.
So, the first day, we decided to go to Dilli Haat first. And the good part was, it was just besides the metro. Now, I remember from my first year in college, we were supposed to go on a trip here, which couldn't happen thanks to COVID. But anyways, we were here. So, जब हम लोग खड़े थे गेट पे, we found a guy selling these cute, really cute wind chimes. I like to call them as door के लिए झुमकेस, but in real life they were really beautiful to just look at. We were thinking on buying those things, but then we decided कि पहले दिल्ली हाट अंदर से देख लेते हैं, then maybe we can buy those. So anyways, moving on. So the day we went, mostly the exhibitions were from the local handicraft businesses from Bihar specifically. So most of the vendors were from Bihar. Also, for those of you all who actually do not know what Dilli Haat is famous for, it's just a place जहाँ पे बहुत सारे art and cultural work का exhibition होता है. You can buy those things, and mostly बहुत सारे foreigners they come here and they actually buy these cultural Indian things. So moving on, there were a lot of things here to watch and buy. Things like these cute little hathis, kurtis, saris, or any kind of handloom, handmade material, paintings, basically everything that is crafty was here. In fact, I'll let these videos explain themselves. Also, people who know me closely know that I love artsy places, artsy things. I may not buy them, but I love seeing them, and it's like the treat for the eyes. This is one of the reasons I love Rishikesh the most. Now, coming back to Dilli Haat, all these exhibitions were placed in different stalls allocated to them. Also, look at this metal bee. Such a piece of work. And in real life, if you look closely at it, it's a very intricate piece of work. Other than these things, there were a lot of food stalls representing each state to promote the food culture of every state. And I think it's great for the foreigners to learn about how each state food varies. So, further moving on, there were many stalls. Many stalls were selling some different kind of chips, pickles, many things. But one shop that really caught my eye was these earring and necklace wali shop.
So well, side note about me, I have been writing down my feelings since 5th grade. This is the first diary I had ever started writing my feelings in. In fact, this is the only diary that I have consistently written till my college. Recently, I started writing my feelings into this one. This has a different story. I might share it in another video, how daily journaling your feeling helps you a lot. But yeah, it still has those dates locked in from 2016, and I used to write this diary every single day back then. I cannot write these days, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So the point I was trying to say is, because of this habit of mine, I really love seeing very artistic diaries. So back to the video.
So I love artistic diaries. Really loved seeing these different kind of diaries here, and this is me getting excited over the visual pleasure I had seeing all these beautiful earrings, necklaces, diaries that I was most probably not gonna buy. But yeah, anyways. And while I was exploring these handbags, my parents were seeing these bamboo bottles, analyzing how these were actually made. And yeah, after all these things, we basically headed over to the colorful area. Honestly, it was a relief from the sun because it was completely shaded. Also, look at how intricate this painting is. After a while, I ended up obsessing over these cute little plates, wondering, जब मेरा घर होगा, I'll have a huge collection of these artsy plates. I know it sounds childish, but okay, never mind. And later all, इतना सब कुछ इधर उधर घूमने के बाद, टाइम पास करने के बाद, after clicking all these photos, once we were done doing all these things, we thought it's time to leave, and then we left for our next stop. Also, special mention to these butterfly wind chimes. Yeah, if only I had a home right now, I would have bought these for sure. They were really pretty and they were just beautiful. Moral of the place: sometimes just go to artistic or crafty places like these. Even if you don't have to buy anything, you'll see how talented the world actually is. And honestly, these experiences takes one a bit outside of their own head, and you get a newer perspective of things basically. So Dilli Haat तो देख लिया, but we still had a lot of time left in the evening, so we decided to visit Lotus Temple. So बचपन से हमारे बुक्स में अगर कोई आर्किटेक्चरल प्लेस ताजमहल के बाद बहुत ही फेमस था, तो it was Lotus Temple. And honestly, I still tend to forget who was its architect. FYI, it's फरीबोर्स सहबा. एंड इफ़ आई टेल यू लिटिल बिट अबाउट लोटस टेम्पल, वो बहाई फेथ के ऊपर बेस्ड है, विच एम्फसाइजेस ऑन द इम्पॉर्टेंस ऑफ इक्वालिटी एंड यूनिटी अमंग ऑल, एंड इट ऑल्सो टीचेस हाउ ईच एंड एवरी रिलेशन इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. And if you ask about how I was feeling, you can see how happy I was to be here, and I was absorbing in all these beauties.
So, I'm not going to talk about how Lotus Temple is an architectural marvel, nor I'm going to talk about कि उसका construction कितना ज़्यादा magnificent and कितना ज़्यादा advanced है, and nor I'm going to talk about कि उसकी planning कितनी अच्छी है और how beautifully master planned it is. Why? Because I think Lotus Temple is famous for that. You can find it on internet, and basically everybody knows that it's an architectural marvel. That's why people visit it, and that's why it's famous. And also because it has an architectural and historical history to it. But what I think is underrated, or what people don't talk about Lotus Temple, is how strong the management of the temple is. For example, whenever you go to a public space which has some kind of architectural or historical importance to it, or it is a mandir of a lot of importance attached to it, one of the major things that we find problematic with the place is the amount of crowd there is, and the amount of mismanagement that comes with it, the chaos that comes with it. In many of the famous temples, if we talk about temples, there is a lot of chaos, and the whole purpose of finding peace in a temple, it just blows off. Sometimes एक दूर का silent temple not visited much will give you a lot more peace than a famous temple. I feel that way. I don't know if people will relate to it or not. But Lotus Temple is very different. I understand most of the reason is it's a Baha'i religion temple, and it's not a Hindu temple that many people would come to. Religion actually is not the purpose that people visit that temple. But I feel that what I mean by being a strong management or a strong system of management in the temple is, for example, एक छोटी सी चीज़ बताती हूँ. एक नॉर्मल टेम्पल में मोस्टली क्या होता है, वन ऑफ द मेजर chaotic experiences is चप्पल खोलना and चप्पल चोर होना. They just steal your slippers. Your worst fear would be coming back and not finding your slippers back. यहाँ पे इतनी सिंपल सी चीज़, it was very simply managed. They were just handing you bags, you put your slippers inside, and then you can just submit it. It's that simple, it's that hassle free, and yet this particular thing is really important. I know it might sound stupid to talk about these things, but I think it really enhances the experience as a user. Also, I would like to talk about by management what I mean other than that is, so हम लोग जाते हैं लाइन से. First of all, there is not much of a crowd, so you just go in a line, and then they actually divide you into parts. So not everyone is going at the same time. They are divided into parts, and there is one girl who is actually going to tell you in both Hindi and English languages why the temple is important. They don't talk about the architecture of the temple. We think it's that important, but for them they talk about the actual belief of Baha'i faith, and actually about what the temple or what the faith believes in, which is really beautiful because you're there to pray, sort of. It's a temple, right? And then they tell you to be really silent, pin drop silence. They tell you not to take any kind of videos or any kind of photos. That is the reason why I don't have any videos of the interior. I wish I could have, but I don't. And overall, it's very calm. Even अंदर जाने के बाद, even if a child is going to cry, they are going to say, please politely take them out. I mean, हम एक नॉर्मल टेम्पल में मेन भगवान के सामने we barely get some few seconds in the famous temples. I'm talking about the famous temples. हम वहाँ जाते हैं and then you're like, जल्दी से आगे बढ़ जाओ. But this is very different. You can sit here as long as you want, and there are several prayers they pray. You can actually understand those mantras to some extent, and then you can meditate there, and you'll actually find a lot of peace, the feeling of nothingness in your head. And that is the point of meditation. You have to feel nothing. And I feel feeling nothing is very underrated because sometimes feeling nothing is really good. You actually get a clarity in your head. And that's what I felt personally after sitting there. Absolutely, you can't use your phones or anything, and it's a completely different feeling. And all this was possible because it was all managed well at a certain level. Otherwise, it could end up turning a lot more chaotic like other famous temples. So yeah, I think many public places should incorporate this thing, and I feel it's a good thing to take, or good thing to notice, or I think this is something that Lotus Temple should be famous for as well. Now I won't speak much on this video because as I said कि मेरे पास कुछ ज़्यादा thoughts थे नहीं, and in this video I'm mainly talking about the thoughts I get from a particular space. So I'll just let you enjoy the main video.
So, moral of the place. It's okay to be peaceful and do nothing while feeling nothing sometimes, because only then you will be able to feel and do something later on.